Welcome back to the Wonder Sanctum realm. We are above the middle of an area that I have been working on, actually for this episode. However, my computer crashed and I lost all the footage. I also lost all my recording settings and put myself way behind an arbitrary schedule that I had set for myself. I'm actually recording this on the day that I was hoping to release it. This episode is going to be more of a Redstone special. Now, if you have no idea what Redstone is, but you like logic puzzles, I think you'll find this interesting. Our goal is to build a bamboo harvester. That's not a new thing. It's new in this world, but it's not new among Minecraft players. I have a little different idea of something that I've never attempted before. So, why bamboo? Let's talk about that first. Goodbye, atmospheric cow. I'm sure you'll be flying around the area. Hi! Alright, so, bamboo. We can harvest it with a sword. That's the most efficient way to do it by hand, at least that I know. Oh, I'm stuck! I'm stuck! Let me out! Okay. So, bamboo. What can we do with it? Well, pandas like to eat it, so that's one thing. We can make blocks of bamboo, or we can turn those blocks into planks. We can turn the planks into slabs, composters, barrels, chests. If we use some iron from our iron farm, we can actually turn these chests into hoppers. We can build a lot of these things automatically using the crafters. So a couple questions immediately come to mind. One is, how do we want to harvest? We can use a flying machine with slime. We don't have good access to slime yet. The other option is pistons. The next question is, when do we want to do it? Could use an observer, so when bamboo reaches a particular height, it will just harvest. There's another option with using a timer. There's a lot of options there. XP Crafted in a recent Hermitcraft Season 10 episode used a hopper timer. I have an idea that I want to try out. We'll harvest the bamboo once a day at the same time every day. Let's head over to my testing creative world. I sadly lost my original in the computer crash, so we have a brand new one. I'll see you over there. And welcome to the all-new creative testing world. As you can see, it is very empty here. And if you're following along, this is actually built in Java. I have a bit more control over things here, and it's easier to see here than if we tried to do it on the realm. Now, if you are trying to build one of these in bedrock and you run into some issues, let me know, because my next step is to build this over on the Wonder Sanctum realm. So here is our little imaginary farm that we're going to be using. According to the wiki, bamboo requires a light level 9 to grow. So I thought, would it be possible to harvest bamboo precisely when the daylight level switches from 9 to 8? Then we could advertise our bamboo as all natural, premium quality, and it's better than harvesting by hand. If you're new to Minecraft, the bamboo isn't actually different, but the idea of the light levels might be new. All you really need to know is that lots of things in Minecraft depend on different light levels. Skeletons, creepers, zombies, other things only spawn at specific light levels. Melting of snow and ice, growing of crops, and one of the things that they depend on is light levels. I'll include a link to the very technical wiki page if you want to learn more about it. To start with, let's throw a daylight sensor down here, and so right now it's noon. This creative world time doesn't advance, so I actually have control over what I'm just entering down here. So I can say I want it to be, if I can spell, I can say I want it to be noon, and it will make it noon. I can also set it to be daylight of 8, which according to the wiki is 13027. Oh, that's really dark. All right, let's put some redstone lamps down, and we can see sort of where things fall. This is 8, and then 13027. So we just need to know that for our creative testing stuff here. According to the wiki, we should be able to do set time 1326. So it's the time right before 8. So it should be at 9. I expected that to change. Why didn't it change? Because this seems awfully late too. Like we should be able to sleep. Let's get a bed. And can we? Oh, we can sleep. This isn't going to work anyway. Here's what I'm thinking. My original idea of using when it switches to when our light level changes from a 9 to 8, that's not going to work because we can sleep before this time happens, which is not a good thing because that means if players or even me, if I'm sleeping, my bamboo will never harvest. So we need to find a different time. I'm going to go digging through the wiki and see if I can figure out if I'm just reading it wrong, if there's a better time that I can be using. Otherwise, yeah, I'll meet back up with you in a moment. Let's use 12542. Okay, so this is 12542. Now, if we set our time to 1 before that, that's not it either. What is it then? Time to go do more looking. Figure out if there's something wrong with, maybe it's something with the wiki. I'm probably just not reading it right. Yeah, I did some investigating and I found that it's actually these numbers is the last time in at least clear weather that that we get a change in light level before sleeping happens, which let's see, and remember time is moving forward. So at sunset, our signal strength will be going down. So we've got 12,470 and then 12,471. And then sleeping happens somewhere over here. It's still in this light here though at 12,541. No, 12,542. That's a lot of numbers. What's important is this is the transition. This is the point at which we want our bamboo to harvest. So, why does it have to be so difficult? Why? Am I reading the wiki wrong? Because these numbers don't show up in there at all. So maybe the wiki's just wrong. We need to know when this number happens. So we're going to grab a signal out of here using this repeater. And then we're going to run that over here to just like that. I should have maybe turned this off first. Now, when we have a signal here, we'll be powering these pistons. So, great, right? All right. I think I'm going to set up some command blocks real quick for these times so we don't have to keep typing them in. We have this sorted out so we can set our time to midnight just by pushing the button. And yeah, we can set it to our 2 times here that we're interested in. Right now, we have our signal strength of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because we set it to the 12470. And now if we set it to 12471, we're not going to perceive a difference ourselves, but our daylight detector definitely did notice a difference. This is the time that we actually need to look for. The wiki apparently is wrong, or I can't read it, or maybe I'm just not understanding how it works, but I didn't find these numbers anywhere on there, so I don't know. But what I do know is these numbers are what we need to be worried about, because these are the last numbers before sleeping would happen, which, remember, it's sunset, so the power is decreasing, and our sleeping time is at 12542. For our bamboo farm, this is a problem, because anytime that it is at this signal strength or higher, even we set it to noon, our pistons are going to be extended, blocking our bamboo. We need a system to find, or some sort of a redstone contraption that will tell us when it is this time and this time. Well, this signal strength, so signal strength of 4, and nothing else. We only want our pistons extended at that point. I found something that has a lot less redstone involved. It's a lot more compact. Let's fill this in so we have a nice workspace. We'll leave our daylight detector here, but let's see. Can I just do this from memory? And I think was it this? And I know it was just a 3x3, and I need a lectern here. I think this is in subtract mode. I need a book and quill. This is where things are going to be a little different between Java and Bedrock. Every page turn is a new strength, so it's not actually the page number. So, yep, I'm trying to talk and type at the same time. 7, 8, 14, and 15. If we want to know when we have a signal strength of 4, we want this at 3. I was real close. Let's get some wool, just so we can more easily identify what's happening. Let's go purple wool. So what's happening is this will only output a signal when it's one more than this book. So when it's a signal strength of 4, we will get a signal on this purple line. So if we go to 5, we should not get a signal, which we don't. And now if we go to 4, we do. We could connect this up, but our pistons will still be extended for the entire time that it is at a signal strength of 4. The next thing we need to do is figure out when it's going from signal strength 5 to 4. So let's set up this same thing facing the other direction. And repeater, and a comparator looking into it. And we need that, and we need our book. And this book should be on, this one needs to be on 4 because we want a signal strength 1 greater, or it will output a signal strength when it's 1 greater. Was this on subtract mode? Oh yeah, because we have that signal going in there. We are at noon. We have no signal on either of them. So let's go to this one here, an output of 5. And as expected, we have an output on our pink line over here. So we know this is, let's put a sign up just so we have it, 5. Let's just call it 5. And let's go to 4. And it switches. Now we have 4. 4, like I said. Keyboards. Numbers are all close together. So now we have an output on 4 and we have an output on 5. And it's a nice compact design. I really like this. It's actually, let's do this right. This is from Reddit post by Munin295. And I will include a link down in the description to so you can see where, and I don't know if they designed it, but they at least included a link with images to it. And it's really, really handy, nice and compact, perfect for what we're trying to do. Are there better ways? I don't know, but this one works for us. Our buttons, things might they shouldn't overlap at all. Does it actually overlap? It overlaps for a brief second. That is interesting. So one of the things that we could do, let's move this light up. Let's replace our redstone with a repeater here, so we'll get full signal strength into this block, and I'll show you why in a little bit. What we can do is we can set up an AND gate in the cyan block here. So what we're trying to do is we want to know if there's a time that they're both on at the exact same time for just a moment. And what we can do here is if we run a line across, either one of these torches will light up this redstone line, and then if we put another torch here, because this wool block is powered, it turns off this torch, which means we will get we won't get a signal on this when either of these is on. Or another way to say that is when both of these are on, we will get a signal to this lamp here. So I'm curious, which one are we on right now? Let's do that. Okay. So, these are staying on because they're being powered by the redstone line up here. Let's replace this just so we're not confused by what's happening. Let's try this again. So let's go to this one. That's the one that we're on. So now if we go to this one, okay, so it might look like to us that they were on for just a moment, but this light never actually turned on, which makes sense because we would not have an output 4 and a 5 at the same time because they're two different times. Let's go back to noon. What this means is we need to actually extend the signal strength because we're going from 5 to 4, remember. We need to extend this signal for just a little bit longer. So one of the ways, let's get a different color wool here. Just so you can see what's, kind of identify what's happening. So what we can do with the repeater here, it will actually push the power through this block, if you will. So this will actually be powered. I'll show you here. Let's switch this to 5. Okay, so we have signal coming off of this side as we would expect. This repeater sort of pushes it through or it's like strongly powered, I think is technically the term. So it powers this block next, or the redstone next to it. One of the things we can do, this is called a pulse extender. And what this will do is these will decay a little bit slower. You can look into pulse extenders. They're really interesting and helpful for this sort of thing. Let's just place that with our block again. So now we're on 5, and what's going to happen, you can watch this over here, or we can watch this torch here, and you'll be able to watch that torch there and see that it stays on a little bit longer. We are on 5 right now, and if we go to 4, see, it stays on for just a few seconds longer. So we had this lamp turn on. I'll do it again so you can see what happens. But also notice that, and one thing that I didn't mention, but you probably thought of, is we actually have the reverse happen in the morning where it goes from signal strength 4 to signal strength 5. And we do not want it to harvest then. So this is one of those things that we can do to ensure that it will only harvest in the at night. So we're going to go from signal strength 4, which it is right now, right? Yep. So if we go to 5, we shouldn't get anything. Yep. This lamp did not turn on. Now, when we go, now the rest of the day passes and it's getting evening again. So we switch to 4, we have signal coming out. So now let's do this. Let's actually replace our button and we can power all of our pistons. So back to the output 4. Now we go to output 5. Why did that work? Oh, because we went from 4 to 5. It worked as expected. When we go from 5 to 4 in the evening, there we go. Our bamboo harvested. One thing that you maybe noticed there is the pistons actually stayed extended for a little while. And something else that can happen, though I don't see any right now, is the bamboo can actually sit on top of these, the bottom bamboo blocks, the ones that we're not harvesting. And at some point, I mean, once we get over into, over on the realm, we'll actually hook up the minecart to pick up too. We'll do one more thing. Instead of having a signal coming directly from this torch, we can set up an observer to watch the torch. When this torch turns on, we'll get a short signal, or just a brief signal out of the observer. And then when it turns off, we'll get another. Hello? Yeah? Why are you here? You want bamboo? As I was saying, this observer will watch this torch. When it turns on or off, it will get a brief signal that hopefully we will see the pistons just extend for just a very brief time. See, we do have one bamboo there, but if we go from, 5, so now we're in the evening and we're getting later, we're gonna go to 4. There, it popped. And there it went a second time. We have a couple little circuits here that are detecting what time it is. We have our AND gate here that is detecting when it's both of these, but we'll never have both of them. So we have a little pulse extender here to know when it was just signal strength 5. So when it's just signal strength, or when it was just signal strength 5 and it turns into signal strength 4, then this torch will turn off, sending a signal, or the observer will notice that and it'll send a signal down to our pistons to harvest our bamboo. And the other thing we'll need to do is pull a signal off of that to harvest, or to run our minecart to pick up all of our bamboo. Like that. And we're up to 30. It's working. I am excited to see if it works just like this over in the bedrock realm. I'm glad to get this recorded and get it out to you. I hope you have enjoyed this redstone special, and if it piqued your interest at all in building something like this, yeah, give the video a like, why not? And even if you don't, I still appreciate you watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.